yeah. I'm back in action for your satisfaction, good people. It's Will Smith, not the actor. I want to thank you again for joining my show. We're talking cool today. We on Intellectual Radio. And we're about to do our thing. And hopefully you had a chance to check out some things. I've been away for a while, but I'm back. I'm back. Like number 23 when he came back out of retirement. Just the press release just said, I'm back. And guys, I'm back. And today, man, it's been a lot going on since I've been gone. I mean, it's been a lot going on. I took a couple of ventures. I was on a couple of trips around the world, did my thing. I had to go help some courts, do some things so they can help the people in a better way. I told you God has been blessing me to make a difference in the community and society. So I'm back in action, and a lot has been happening. ICE is taking over. We in Chicago, ICE is doing their thing. In the streets. We got that going down. We got the jobs report is missing. We got talk show hosts being taken off of TV. We got a whole bunch of stuff is going on. And today we're gonna focus in on ourselves. This is a self-focused type of thing. And you all know when we come on this and we doing talking cool, we talking about how to help you elevate. This is the elevation. I'm gonna get a shirt that say Elevation Nation. Everybody who joined in my cause is Elevation Nation. Like almost like that Hulk Hogan type of era. What you gonna do when Hulk Hogan runs wild on you? We're gonna have the Elevation Nation. And so this show, if you all remember, we talking about how to elevate through your situation. And one of the target populations, some of the people that I like to speak to are my guys that's been justice involved. I do a lot of work with justice involved individuals. And as you all know, for 23 years, I was a federal officer myself, working with people who were justice involved. And that's why this is my passion, because I've had the opportunity to help guys turn their situation around. I had the opportunity to help generations. I've had the daddy, I've had the granddaddy, and the son had a new case. And so, man, how do we handle this thing when we on probation? Probation is a big thing for a lot of people. So I told you all on the first show, I had a lot of friends in a lot of high places. And so I was going to be calling on some favors. And so I got a friend who is in the house, but she out of camera. In the house, out the camera. She is a probation officer, decades of service in the area, helping people or doing what probation officers do. All right. And depending on who you are and what your experience is, you have your own thoughts of what probation officers do. But because the recidivism rate is so high in the United States, man, I thought it would be a good idea to bring an officer on, like while they off duty, to like talk about some of the pros and cons and how to help people in their situation with probation. And so, without any further ado, I want you all. You can't see her, but you gonna hear. You can't see her, but you definitely gonna hear her. She's in the house. And without further ado, give a big round of applause to Officer King. Officer King.
How you want me to clap?
Yeah, you can clap. All right. First of all, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on this show. And I would kind of want to talk about this probation thing. We got it says that 60% or more of individuals, when they get released from prison, they recidivate within the first 3 to 5 years. And a majority of them are given some type of probation. And sometimes they struggle with this thing called probation. So with you being, this could be your softer side because you are off duty now. But break down to the people, and what probation job is. What's the job of a probation officer? And it don't matter if it's state, it don't matter if it's county, it don't matter if it's federal, most probations, everybody, it kind of operate the same rules apply. And so, you know, what's y'all do? What y'all supposed to be doing? What the probation officer do? What y'all for?
Good morning, officers. I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. Thank you for having me on. As far as probation, what we are charged to do is to be an extension of the court. And like you said, it doesn't matter if that's county, federal, state. We are an extension of the court. Our job in and of itself is to assist individuals that are reintegrating into society. So that means first we are to uphold the conditions that the individual has been given by the judge. And those can be very lengthy or they can be short in nature. We are to make sure that they are abiding by those conditions. And those conditions are generally set forth to either protect the community, to make sure that the individual is not engaging in the activities that put them in the situation where they're on supervised release or probation, and to also help them to become the better person or a person that thinks differently than they did before. The other part of probation is, like I said, to assist the individual to reintegrate into society. And that may mean helping them with changing their thought process. It may mean getting them treatment. It may mean walking them through different situations that they're in with their families, their friends, society in general. So we're not necessarily out here to police individuals. We are here to assist them. And I know that is a misnomer by most of our clients across the country, across the nation, across the world, is that probation want to be in your business and police you. And that's not necessarily you look like you got a question. Go
Okay,
ahead, Mr. Smith.
let me ask you. So you saying that when people get out of prison, that y'all not trying to police them, but like, don't y'all be making people like take drug tests?
Yes, we do. That is not necessarily policing. So the drug tests come in play in that we're attempting to change the mindset and the activities of individuals. So when we talk about drug usage, statistically, when someone is using drugs, illicit drugs, they are more apt to commit crimes or do things that they should not necessarily be doing. So if your mindset is altered by a substance, you are not prone, statistically, I'm not saying everybody, but statistically, your mindset is altered. So therefore, if, for example, I'm having a conversation with you and you have been using cocaine, heroin, or what have you all night, when I'm having that conversation with you the next day, your mindset, or you are not in the situation, whereas you can really hone in on what we're trying to say to you, what we're trying to assist you in doing. So, in order that you are being the best you, since we're here to elevate the individual, for you to be the best you, we need you not enhanced or altered by a mind altering or chemical that could alter the nervous system, the mind, the brain, the whole nine.
All right. So just for you all who might have tuned in a little late, this is Will Smith, not the actor. This is podcast Talking Cool. We on IntellectualRadio.com, and today's topic is surviving the game of probation, surviving the game of being on paper. So we got a guest. I got a guest here, probation officer, and she was just breaking down about what probation does and what their role is. But you all seeing people back to jail. I mean, I hear people all the time saying that, and my PO violated me. My PO violated me. I mean, so if you're not policing them, then why and how are you violating them?
So let's clear that up. Probation does not violate you. If there is a violation, it is something that the individual themselves have done or not done. So not everything that is a violation is because you did something. It could simply be that you did not do something. The misnomer is that probation officers violate. We cannot violate you. We do not have that power. The violation, if you are revoked, that comes from the court. All we do is report the activity, the action, the non-action that you have done. For example, if you we just talked about drugs. So if you are using an illicit drug, let's say you've used and we've tested you, and within a 365-day time period, you have tested 4 times positive, like you've been hot 4 times.
Yeah.
We are governed by the statutes of the land to report that to the court. So we're not revoking you, we're not violating you, we're just reporting that to the court. The court may say, yes, you're violated, and send you back to jail. They may put you in rehab, they may put you at the residential reentry center, they may have you do community service, they may have you do a lot of things, but it's up to that court. It's not up to me. All I do is report what has transpired according to the guidelines. Now, there is also what we call the guidelines rules. So if you have been convicted of a firearms and then you testing positive for marijuana, it's what we call a low grade violation. But based on those 2 instances, it tells us what incarceration you could face or reincarceration you could face. Not again, not up to the probation officer. It's written in a manual a guideline book. Anybody can go pick it up. And it tells us what your potential sentence can be, but it's up to the judge to impose that, not the probation officer.
So let me get this right. So you saying that your job, you first started off that your job is to let the court know what I'm doing, what the person on probation is doing, or what they're not doing.
Correct.
And then if it's something that's a violation of their conditions of probation, then you all let the court know. But you telling me that you all don't decide what the punishment is. You saying it's a book that gives you all what the possible punishments are.
Correct.
And then it's up to the judge to decide if they're gonna punish you or not, or what they're gonna do.
That is correct.
But the PO got all the power. Like can't y'all let some stuff slide? Like some of the stuff y'all can let slide. Like if I tell you I use a drug, can't you just wait to test me until the next time? Or if I get if I test positive or something happened, do you gotta I mean, I understand why you just can't let some stuff slide, because I'm trying to get to where y'all want me to be.
So it is not our goal to catch you up, to put you before a judge because we're talking about drug usage, because you're using drugs. Our ultimate goal is to put you in a situation where you're not using. So what we ask you, or shall I say what I ask you on the front end, that very first meeting, and tell you is that I hope that you never test positive for an illicit substance. I hope that I never have to go before a judge and say, hey, this guy's using whatever substance it is. So we have mechanisms in place. If you are honest with us, we can help you. So if you have a cocaine addiction, a marijuana addiction, a gambling addiction, whatever the addiction may be, there are avenues that we can travel to assist you with that addiction, but it's up to you to be honest with us.
Oh.
And those avenues can be treatment. We can get you in treatments. We can get you in outpatient, inpatient, a combination of the two, but it's up to you as the probationer to be honest with your officer, to let them know, hey, I've been using heroin since I was 12 years old and I'm still having issues. That means off the bat, we got some treatment for you. So let's try this treatment thing before we go to the judge and say, hey, he just using. So that gives us a little bit more ammunition. So when we go to the judge and say, hey, this guy's been testing, he's tested positive 4 times within that 365-day term. But we can also say he's tried treatment, he's done the inpatient, he's done the outpatient, he's done everything, Your Honor, that he has been tasked to do, but we still can't get over this hump. So we can recommend, hey, give us a little bit more time to work with him, but that doesn't guarantee that that's going to happen. It's still up to the judge as to what that sentence could be.
But you're saying you can't let nothing slide.
Technically, we're not.
You can't let nothing go.
We are not. That's not our job.
You can't give me a pass.
That's not our job.
Can't say all right this time, but next time.
So here's what I would challenge anyone on supervision, probation to consider. If you think about your life and what has gone on from the moment you were born, from the moment you decided to do whatever it is that you did, join the street culture, whatever, many times the reason you are where you are is because people kept letting things slide. Your family, your mom, your dad, your auntie, whoever, You stole a piece of gum from the store. Ah, he just young. We gonna let that slide. We gonna let that slide. He's still in a bag of potato chips. Ah, he just a boy being a boy. We gonna let that slide. So you weren't held accountable early in life. So then when it started making a difference and you 13, 14, 15, and you stealing stuff from the store, no one's going to let that slide. So if we start to hold you accountable and make you hold yourself accountable for your choices, then that starts the change process.
The change process. So you saying part of what y'all want to do is help people hold you got to hold people accountable. So you can't let some stuff slide, because part of the change process is holding people accountable. And correct me if I'm wrong, but not just the probation officer holding them accountable, but the person holding themselves accountable
Exactly.
as well. So can't nothing slide, can't nothing you got to do what you got to do. You got to report it to the court. So let me ask you this. How long you been being a probation officer?
Ooh, 17 years, 10 months,
All right, so that's a
and
long time. That's a long time.
21
So
days.
what made you become a probation officer? I mean, you like shaking people down, you like locking people up, you like putting brothers down on their back. I mean, you like you be telling on people, or yeah, because the probation officer be telling on people. You like telling on people. I mean, like, what made you become a PO? I mean, of all things you could do, like, what's your degree in? You got a degree?
I have several degrees and they have absolutely nothing to do with probation. So my journey into probation is a little different from most officers. I actually started as a street police officer. I was an officer for about 10 years. And I actually fell into probation. I fell into it. There was a group of young ladies on the police department that we all was like, hey, let's get out of the street piece of it and let's do something different. We all applied. I got the slot. So in my journey, I have transitioned. It took a minute for me to transition my brain from locking them up to helping them when they come out. So what I've seen over the course of my career is it takes an individual to hold themselves accountable to be the change they want to see in the world. So if I'm the individual locking persons up because they're committing crimes, because they're doing this, and I'm complaining about, I'm locking up the same people over and over again. I lock them up, they get out, they're committing the same crimes. I lock them up, and I'm complaining about it. Then it's up to me to make a difference, to see that change that I want to see. And probation helps me do that. So probation helps me help other individuals make the change so that they are not, I tell them at the beginning of my speech, my goal for them in life is not to ever be on that side of the table ever again. And whatever that means, if that means you need assistance with employment, then we're going to do what we need to do to get you that job training, to get you interviewing skills, to get you the clothing that you need
So
to do those job interviews or
so,
get that job.
so you telling me that as a probation officer, you took the job because you wanted to help people out.
Yes,
You wanted to help people.
yes.
And after 17 years being on the job, you feel like you helping people.
I don't help as many as I would like to help, but I feel like if I've changed one individual throughout the course of my career, I've done my job.
Okay. All right. So this is good. This is interesting. This is interesting because, the general perception is that the probation officer. Now, are you just an anomaly? Are you just you think a majority of the probation officers care about helping people out? I know you can't speak for everybody. You can't speak for probation officers around the world. But what you think from what you see about the field? Is it a field about helping people, or is it a field about helping people, lifting people up, or is it a field about putting people down? Yeah, putting people down.
As you said, I can't speak for everyone, but I would speculate that the mass majority of the officers are out for the same cause, and that is to assist. When you talk to some of my colleagues or watch some of my colleagues, many of them are looking for the programs to put people in. Many of them are meeting the family and having those conversations with mom, with dad, with girlfriends, with boyfriends, with children, to see what the individual need, where they're lacking, and what is it that probation can offer them to help them get over that hump. It's not just like with policing. There's always 99% of the force that are good. It's that 1% or 5%, 95%. It's only a small portion of those careers that make the rest of us look bad. So it may
Okay.
be 1% that is out to lock everybody up, or has had that situation where now they're tainted because something didn't go their way and they're treating everybody bad. But that's usually, like I said, like 1%, maybe
It's 1%.
5%
It's
if I
1%. That's
want to
what you
go a
said.
little higher.
Okay.
It's very small percentage. When you
Okay.
look at us, we across the country. I mean, and honestly, they are probation officers across the world. They are probation officers in Germany and
Mhm.
England. And I personally believe that there's a small percentage that are out to just lock people up.
Okay. All right. All right. So look, that's interesting. That's interesting. So look, if you at home in podcast land, if you auntie, if you uncle, if you big sister, big brother, little sister, if you got a if you got a family member that's on paper, they need to hear this podcast. They need, if this their second time on paper, this their third time on paper. They never make it off of paper. Man, this is it. And this is, we need to spread the word like we spread the word about when Jay-Z got into it with Beyonce on the elevator. We need to spread the word about this like we spread the word about everything that's going on. Spread the word so they can hear some of this insight. Because this is, remember what I told y'all before, this is intellectual radio.com. These ain't just regular conversation. You just can't get this on 102.7 or the local station. This is intellectual. This is designed to make you think. This is designed to make you look. And if I can make you look, then that means I made you process it and think it. So pass this on. So now let me ask you this question, officer, Miss Officer Probation. What is and I'm gonna give you I'm gonna ask for your top 2 to 3. What's the number one thing you would suggest to anybody when we talk about surviving the game? And remember, the name of this episode is Surviving the Game, How to Make It Through Probation. All right. Surviving the game. What are kind of like your top 3? Give me like your number one. Give me like your third one. Now we're gonna take it up to the top if we can. Take it up to the top. 3. What's one thing that you would advise people to make this thing happen, to make it through probation without having getting revoked or violated?
Follow your conditions.
Follow your conditions.
Whatever your judge has deemed necessary for you to be governed by for the amount of time that you're on supervised release with or probation. If it's a year, 3 years, 5 years, 8, whatever the time frame may be, look at your conditions and know them and just follow them. Follow the
So
conditions.
so follow my conditions. So my conditions say I can't drink no alcohol. I got to follow that.
Yes.
My conditions say I can't leave the area without getting permission from my probation officer. I got to follow that.
Yes.
But I'm grown. I got to follow that.
You was grown when you was making the decisions to be in the street.
But I'm grown, so I still got to follow that.
Yes.
But I'm grown. Some stuff come up, and I might want to go to Vegas, or my girl might want to take me someplace. I got to still follow. Still got to get permission from my probation
You
officer.
have to get permission. Get permission.
I mean,
And some of our conditions are negotiable. So let's talk about your travel, since the travel is the thing that you brought up.
yeah.
So when you first come on to probation, your travel is going to be really tight. It's going to be really stringent. You're going to have to ask every single time you go somewhere. But if you form that rapport with your officer, you may be that one person that they say, all right, just let me know that you're traveling. You don't necessarily have to ask to go over to Indiana because it's literally right there, to go to Wisconsin because it's literally right there. You may have gained the rapport with your officer to say, hey, officer, whatnot, I'm going to Indiana today with my family. I'll be back at 5 o'clock. That's not permission, but you're letting them know. It's kind of like being in a relationship. You don't just up and go out of town without telling your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, whoever. You just let them know. And that could potentially be what happens with your officer once you've established rapport, once you've let them know or shown them through your actions that you're worthy to have that privilege.
So my conditions say I can't smoke weed, but weed is legal. So if I'm on like it's different offices. It's like state, county, but if it's like the federal probation, like they telling me I can't smoke weed, like, but it's legal, so I still can't smoke weed if I'm on federal probation.
You may not be able to smoke weed on state or county probation. It's the feds is a little different because it's a Schedule One drug and it's not legal federally. Even though many states have legalized it, the federal government has not legalized it. So if you're on federal supervision, it's all illicit drugs. Any Schedule One drug you cannot use. You
I
can't
see.
get a
I see.
prescription
I see.
for a Schedule One drug, which is marijuana. So you can walk into your officer and it's like, hey, I got a prescription. It doesn't fly because that's not a prescription. And we could go deep into that, but it's really not worth it right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
even on the state and local level, you can still be deemed not able to smoke marijuana. If smoking marijuana kind of enhances or contributes to the trouble that you're in. If it's drinking alcohol, alcohol has been legal for years. But if drinking alcohol causes you to do things that are contrary to being productive in society, the courts may say you can't drink alcohol. So marijuana is the same thing, same way, even on state and local. If it's something that enhances your actions that are illegal, then the court may say you can't have it.
But
So it's
they,
not just federal.
I mean, part of the conditions is I can't hang out with my cousin Junebug, Ron, and Rodney, and but they're my cousins. So you telling me I can't hang out with family because that's on my conditions.
If your conditions specifically say you can't hang out with them, yeah, I'm sorry, for the term that you're on supervised release, that's going to be a problem. Now, again, that's not to say that the entire time that you're on supervised release you can't hang out with them, but at least go with what is said in the beginning. And it may be a situation that down the line things have changed with you and your behavior and what you're doing, the rapport you have with your officer. Anything can change, and you can go back before the court, and your officer, just like we tell the court what you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing, we're also your biggest cheerleader when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, I gotta
So
see
it
that.
could
I gotta
be
see that.
that the officer assists you and goes to court and say, hey, your honor, he's been working, he's been staying out of trouble, he has no positive drug screens, he's taking care of his family, he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, and we feel as though at this point he can hang out with Junebug on a limited basis.
Okay. So just for if you just tuning in, this is Will Smith, not the actor. LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. And let me throw this in. Let me pay some bills. This show today is brought to you by Cool Concepts Outside Ordinary Limits. We help people be better. It's a therapeutic agency, black owned, black operated as well. You can find them at 708-405-9569. Again, 708-405-9569. They accept insurances and they accept cash. Mental health matters. Cool, helping people be better. Oh yeah, and we right here. We on IntellectualRadio.com and we talking cool right here. This episode is entitled Surviving the Game, Probation. And so we got Officer King here. She's been dropping knowledge, laying down some nuggets. And if you do just want to happen to call in, you can call in on 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. We do take some calls. We won't be long, but we will be strong. We want to keep you at home and let you know what's going on. So she's been dropping some knowledge about uh, 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 doing what your conditions say. So, and then what else? What is some other advice you would give to people to survive this thing called probation?
Listen to and use your probation officer as your biggest ally. They know the ins and out of probation. They know what your conditions say. They know how to guide you through those conditions to make sure that you are, one, doing what the court is saying that you should do, two, assisting you to become a better you, and three, your biggest advocate when it comes to early termination or changing your conditions or getting that job and being able to. Many of our guys like to do CDL and they want to drive over the road. Well, technically, you're supposed to stay in the district while you're on supervised release or in your area while you're on supervised release. So if you're using your officer to the best of their abilities and listening to them and help allowing them to guide your journey, it could be that you do leave the state and drive 2-3 weeks out the month and then come back in. So just use them for what they're there for. Allow them to assist you and not think that they are there just to punish you and send you back to prison.
Okay, all right. And then number one, she said. Well, I heard her say first. She said, "Obey your conditions. Do whatever your conditions say." Because remember, we call the name of this show is called "Surviving the Game." Surviving the game. All right. And then she said, use your probation officer. Listen to them. So you saying don't be adversarial. Don't be arguing with them. Don't be you saying use their insight. Like make them your friend.
Not your friend in the respect that you all are gonna go hang out after work and have drinks or anything like that, but they're not there as a adversary in the adversarial connotation. They're there as your adversary, meaning that they're there to assist you. They're there to walk you through this thing when you have those questions, when you have those concerns. A lot of times the probation officer may be the only person that you can talk to about things going on, because you can't just go to mom like, hey, I'm having this issue or that issue without them judging you. Your probation officer is there to not judge, to listen to what you're saying and to help you work through coming up with the solution for those problems, coming up with people that may help you. For example, if I'm an officer and I don't have the answer to your question, I can find out for you instead of you trying to figure it out on your own. And you have the what we call the ethics. It's not working out, so F it. I'm just gonna do what I know to do. Before you do that, ask your officer. They can sit down and potentially walk you through or help you figure out the best course of action in most situations.
Okay, all right. So what I think I hear you saying, Officer King, is the advice would be is use your probation officer to your advantage. Use their knowledge, get their insight, and when in doubt, talk it out with your probation officer. Yeah, when in doubt, talk it out. Don't just wing it, because when you wing it, then next thing you know, you in court and you gotta sing it to the judge that you sorry and everything. Don't just wing it. So you're gonna have to go sing it. When in doubt, talk it out with your probation officer. And that way they can help you work it out so you won't be a violation of your conditions or your probation. And so now as we start to wind down a little bit, what's your number one? Do you have a number one thing that you would recommend to people on probation? We survive the game, fellas. You just got to survive the game. This ain't about how you want to do it, how you think it should be done. We dropping knowledge, we dropping wisdom, because you're trying to get from one point to another. And a lot of people, one of the most important things to do, they want to get this probation off their back. And so, what's your number one thing?
A change in thinking and giving probation a chance. And what I mean by that is most of our guys come to probation or are on some type of probation based on the way they think or the way they thought during the times when they were engaged in whatever criminal activity it was. If you have the open mindset going into probation, allowing the change process to happen and not going in kicking and screaming, then you will be successful.
So wait a minute, let me stop you there. You said go in kicking and screaming. What does that look like when somebody get out of prison and they come and they gotta meet with you and you say kicking and screaming? Like paint the picture. Like what's kicking and screaming?
I have had individuals come in and day one, just send me back to jail. Just let me flatten out my time. I don't want to do this. It doesn't work like that, because even if you violate and go back to prison, jail, whatever you want to call it, you still may have supervised release when you come back out. Supervision or probation is a part of your sentence. It's not separate from the sentence. So if you're sentenced to 20 years plus probation or plus supervised release, it's all one sentence. It's not I can flatten out and do, instead of getting day for day good time or whatever the good time is and come out with 80%, I just do the whole 100% and I have probation afterwards. You still got probation. So let that notion go. We are here. Just let that go. Know that it's going to happen. Relax. Let us do with you what we need to do. And the biggest thing is cognitions. And when we talk about cognitions mean the way you think. It's your thinking process. And if we can assist you in that change, if you're coming in with the ethics, if you're coming in thinking you're above the law, you can get away with anything. We need to work through that because it didn't work for you before. So what makes you think it's going to work now? A lot of that thought process is what got you to be on that side of the table. So if you help us help you in your thinking process, the rest of it, it all falls in line.
Oh, that's some intellectual stuff right there. That's some intellectual stuff right there. That's why we on IntellectualRadio.com. You know, the largest, the biggest, the baddest black-owned podcast station in the nation. That's why we here. Because we're here to make you think. All right, we're here to make you think. So what she said is come into the office. Cats, when you get out of prison, you halfway home. You almost there. All right, what she's saying is when you come out with an attitude of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? And understanding that I'm a work in progress. I still got some things I need to do. And even though I don't like being on paper, remember this is called surviving the game. This episode is called surviving the game. And you're not gonna survive kicking and screaming and bucking and jiving the PO because the truth always comes to light. Always comes. But she said some concepts that are that's difficult for us she said be honest with your probation officer. That's hard to do, to be honest with your probation officer, because we naturally anti law enforcement, we anti police, we anti probation. They we think they're gonna send us back. But I heard her say that if you honest with us, if you let us know what's really going on, did I hear you say we might be able to help you out?
That is correct.
Well, look, y'all be on people back though about not having a job. Do y'all help people get jobs? I mean, that's what they've been locked up. First thing they say, you gotta have a job, gotta have a job. Do y'all help people get jobs? Y'all got jobs to give people? What that's what's up. Y'all got some jobs to give people. That's what parents be asking. That's what, hey, you got a job for me.
So let's back up this job thing. Let's take it back to you being incarcerated. Part of you helping us help you with getting a job is that you do the work on the inside while you're in behind whatever doors doing whatever. Instead of sitting in your room doing nothing, start programming, start preparing yourself to come out of that institution. That means if they have job readiness, if they have any skills that you can take, think about, hey, what do I want to do when I come out? Do I want to go into computers? Do I want to go into carpentry? Whatever it is, if your institution offers that, you need to take those classes. That way, when you come out, you are more marketable because you already got a strike against you. You have a background. You have been incarcerated. Most of our guys, they've been incarcerated more than one time. They've been arrested 8, 9, 10, 15 times. So we need to get over that hurdle, and you have to give us something to work with. So if you start planning for your release before that time comes, that gives us more to work with. Now, do we have jobs to give you? No, we do not have literal jobs to give you. Can we assist you in obtaining a job? Yes. we can assist you with getting that job by assisting you writing your resume, by doing mock interviews, helping you get through that interview process, helping you answer those tough questions of, have you ever been incarcerated? That question is going to come up. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? That question is going to come up. Why is there such a gap in your employment? That question is going to come up. So yes, we will assist you in those tools that will allow you to answer those questions and don't look like a deer caught in headlights when it comes up. We have resource fairs where we bring in 60, 70 different agencies to assist you in getting that employment. But again, we can't want you to be employed more than you want to be employed. I can't want you to be successful on supervision more than you want to be successful on supervision. This is, as one of my colleagues used to say, this is grown man supervision. It's up to you to do the work. We're just there to assist you getting over some of those hurdles.
Oh, that's powerful. You be dropping so many nuggets. You dropping so many nuggets. When we talk about surviving the game, she said, we can't want it. The probation officer can't want it more than you want it. Oh, that's powerful right there. You gotta want it. You gotta want to survive the game. Not just, remember in the past shows, not just survive. We're talking about thriving. So I heard her say something about, going to training for job training and completing a resume and interviewing and stuff like that. And I think that a lot of people think that